project details.
I thought I'd go through the cost again for you that were here, for those of you that were here last week. Also, we included a couple extra slides tonight that addresses some of the questions we had last week as well, just to add a little more clarity to the cost of the project. Zach referred to the financing options that he looked at between new and renovation numbers, what that impact was. We provide him these estimates of construction, the new building construction at $37,524,000 versus a renovation cost of $24,834,000. There are related costs of $6.9 million for the new building, $5.8 million for the renovation, and the total is the number that you saw in the ballot question for the new building of $44,505,000 and the renovation of $30,670,000. These were, again, were part of the feasibility study. They've been updated as we progressed since that was completed back in February. We also talked, when the board deliberated on this scenarios about timeline for construction. The new building is projected to be a 27-month duration. The renovation would be a 30-month duration. The difference being the new building can be constructed while this building is being occupied for educational purposes. If the building would actually be completed in 23 months is our estimate of that. Following the completion of the building, students would move from this structure to the new facility, and then the demolition of this would begin, and the completion of the ball fields would then follow that. So there's a 4-month duration period after the new building is constructed for a total of 27 months. The renovation, we're estimating to be a 30-month duration. It's going to have to be phased. We did plan that we would bring in some modular construction trailer or some modular trailers for classroom use, and then start to renovate classrooms around the building in a sequence that would facilitate segregation of construction activities from educational activities, taking approximately 5 to 6 rooms at a time, picking our way around the building from first floor to second to third, doing some of the special program areas during the summer months, like the gymnasium, the cafeteria, would occur in those months. A lot of times what we would see happening is closing the kitchen maybe a month before school is out so that it can be completely renovated and be ready to go the following September. So the logic would be that the renovation would take place in that fashion. Since we would not be adding any new space to the building, is the need for some type of modular classroom space for swing space for facilitate construction during the course of the school year. But that's how we arrived at a 30-month duration for the renovation. I put an example up last week, do it again tonight. This is a building that's under construction now, a project of ours down in the Pittsburgh area. It was an existing building. It's a 2-story middle school. It has a small addition here. The rest of this is all renovation. In this particular project, this house grades 5 through 8 for the school district. They opted to keep 5th grade back at their elementary building to facilitate this construction. So we had 3 grade levels to work around in the building. So we're beginning construction right now. It just started this past summer in this 2-story section here. We're obviously working on a new addition at the same time. As this completes, students will move from these other classroom areas into this section of the building, and then we'll move to another area. It's strung out over 8 phases. It's going to be completed next December of 2017. So you can see the logic that has to go into this types of planning when you're renovating the building. Some of the other logistics that are to be concerned with are maintaining life safety systems, replacing heating systems, temperature control systems. There's a lot of extra temporary systems that go into renovation, which affects time and cost. We had some questions last week, and I thought we could maybe answer some of those with this slide. This is the breakdown of cost for the project that's proposed for you. In the left column here is the new elementary cost. And these group of costs here are the construction costs. It's $29,459,000. The size of the elementary building, if you recall, is I showed you that demarc line where the blue footprint was and the district office was. That comprises 118,450 square feet based upon our concept drawing. The high school portion, which is the tan-colored portion on that slide, comprises 28,650 square feet. The total of new space is 147,100 square feet. And we tried to separate this so that you can see the cost that's allocated to elementary for construction is $29,459,000. The high school is $6,289,000. The total for construction, and this correlates with this previous slide, $35,748,000. The other cost for the fields, for the demolition of this building was $525,000, including the asbestos removal. And then the replacement of the fields was $800,000 for a total cost of $30,784,000 that would be attributed to the elementary building. And then for the high school, we are also doing some work to the boiler plant at the high school as part of the project. That's $451,000. So the high school cost breaks out to be $6,740,000, and our total is $37,524,000. And then the related costs right below that. The total is $6,981,000, and we prorated that for the high school at $1,254,000, and for the elementary $5,727,000. The related cost works out to be about 18.6% of the total cost, which is a little bit under normal. Normal is about 20% to 22%. That's just the way that the costs that we put together worked out percentage-wise. I also broke out the dollars per square foot for your references. The elementary, working backwards from square footage, the total cost estimated works out $249 a square foot. For the high school, it's about $220, and combined, it's about $242 per square foot aggregate. How does that compare with other projects? What's going on? We had some examples. For a question about some of the other projects in the area, and then I went to go back and compare that to some other recent bid projects. Both ours, some of ours, and some other projects that were not ours, just for comparison purposes, to show you how your project would fit into this. These are based upon estimates, and we're not bidding the project today. This is being forecasted for a December 16 bid opening. So the construction is going to be occurring in January 17 and on. So you try to forecast where costs are going to be during that first quarter of the project, like in the first quarter of 17. It's the way contractors will look at bidding the project, because they have to look at material costs, labor costs, etc. So that's the forecast. And our forecast for your project is on the top line about $243 a square foot for bidding in 2016. Project of ours that was just bid this past month was $242 a square foot. We indexed that to 2016 costs, and it would be about $249 in another year. The South Park Middle School, it's a combination of additions and renovations. It was about $145 a square foot, indexed that to $149 a square foot for the total. When it was broke out between new and existing construction, it was about $199 a square foot for the new construction, $138 for the renovation portion. Freeport Middle School was bid in May of 14. It was $240 a square foot. If we indexed that to 2016, probably about $255. Lockley, which we talked about last week, was bid at $201. That was a combination of renovation and additions. New was at $203. The renovations was about $199. That's indexed to 2016, so about $226 a square foot. And then Case Avenue was back in 2011, it was $208 a square foot, and the index in 2016 about $241. So I think some of the other costs that I went back and looked at from these past 10, 14 years that the district's been looking at projects, just to see where dollars per square foot, and this is always a leading number because some indexes you look at, they exclude site costs, some exclude building furniture like cabinets and science rooms and classrooms and lockers. Take a lot of the fixtures out of the square foot cost, but trying to be apples to apples as best we can. Back in 2004, we were seeing projects cost around $145 a square foot. 2006, that escalated to $159 a square foot. 2007, it was $173 a square foot. 2009, it was $199 a square foot. And then 2013, $215 to $220 a square foot. So you can see how cost per square foot just keep escalating as time goes by. It goes pretty quickly. So, what does this project look like time-wise? If the decision is to move forward, the design phase will begin in January. It'll be a 10-month duration to do the design work, to comply with the plan con requirements, and all reporting goes along with plan con so that we get our reimbursement, we get in line for reimbursement, and we have all the permitting to do, all the site permitting with the township, building code approvals, etc. Next December, we would be in the bid phase. We would be soliciting bids and awarding contracts. And then construction would begin January of 2017, 23-month duration for the building. And then will be completed in December of 18. Over the December holidays would be the opportunity to move from this building into the new structure. And then students will be occupying the new building for the remainder of that school year. And then following the evacuation of this building, the construction will begin to tear this building down and then construct the ball fields. So it's about a 4-month duration. There's a lot that would happen. What we've shown you tonight on the drawings and the cost projections are projections. Once the design phase begins, there's going to be the opportunity, things will get more refined with the details of the project, with the cost of the project, and then ultimately the bidding of the process. So our intention is when we put the projections together, we weren't trying to anticipate what the contractor's little bid was going to be, trying to make an estimated projection of what cost may be. Expectations are that it would be hopefully lower when bids come in, and also all the decisions we made along the way with the design process. Thank you.